In the silent corners of our minds, truth flickers like a dying flame. Gaslighting begins here, quietly, invisibly, until reality itself bends to another's will. It's not an explosion, but a slow erosion, a rewriting of certainty through whispers and doubts carefully planted within the soul. Imagine you trust someone completely, only to have that trust turned against you. They twist your memories, question your perception, and soon, you start to doubt your own sanity. This is gaslighting, a form of psychological warfare cloaked in affection, control disguised as concern. It starts innocently, with subtle contradictions. You're remembering it wrong, they say, a smile soft as silk but sharp as glass. You correct yourself, unsure, unaware that the ground beneath you is already shifting, that each denial of reality cements their power over your mind. The gaslighter thrives on confusion. To them, uncertainty is currency and control the ultimate prize. Each interaction becomes a psychological chess match. Your thoughts, your words, even your emotions are pieces being moved with meticulous precision toward your collapse. Over time, you begin questioning everything. Did they really say those cruel words, or are you overreacting? You convince yourself you're too sensitive, too dramatic, never realizing these are the exact words they whispered to lead you here, isolated in your own mind's fog. Gaslighters don't attack the body, they rewrite the brain's reality scripts. They exploit emotional bonds, using familiarity to mask manipulation. The more intimate the connection, the deeper the cuts, the harder it becomes to see the wounds that never bleed. In relationships, gaslighting often hides behind charm. They know how to apologize beautifully, to cry at will, to make you feel guilty for the pain they cause. Emotional theater becomes their weapon, empathy merely a mask worn to keep their prey believing in their goodness. One of their cruelest tools is denial, a steady repetition of, "that never happened." They erase events, rewrite conversations, and soon the past itself becomes fluid. What was once clear fades into question marks, until you no longer trust the evidence of your senses. Soon, you start apologizing for things you never did. You doubt your reactions, your memory, your worth. You begin to need their approval just to feel stable again, not realizing that this dependency is their ultimate aim, total psychological control. Gaslighting isn't always loud or violent. Its strength lies in its subtlety, the quiet correction, the knowing smile, the doubtful look that makes you second-guess yourself. It is an art form of darkness practiced by those who understand that power can live in suggestion. History itself is scarred with gaslighters, leaders, manipulators, influencers who twisted narratives to shape nations. By controlling perception, they commanded obedience. In truth, propaganda is mass gaslighting, convincing millions that reality is whatever power decrees. Victims describe feeling like they're living in two worlds, one real, one constructed. The mind becomes a battleground between truth and illusion. Every choice, every doubt, every tear becomes proof of their weakening autonomy under another's psychological scaffolding. When questioned, gaslighters often project blame. "You're the one making things up," they insist, their calm demeanor amplifying your turmoil. They weaponize your emotions, knowing that a rational lie delivered coldly is often stronger than an emotional truth screamed in desperation. Isolation is essential to their craft. They cut you off from friends, discredit allies, and paint themselves as the only person who truly understands you. By controlling your social reality, they control the mirrors that might reflect the truth back to you. Digital spaces have born new gaslighters, subtle manipulators who distort online realities. With fake accounts, altered messages, and disappearing evidence, they weave illusions that seem undeniable. It's psychological sabotage in an age where digital proof should protect the innocent. The modern workplace is not immune. A boss deflects accountability, shifting blame and rewriting outcomes. Colleagues question themselves, lose confidence, and spiral under invisible coercion, while the gaslighter's calm competence earns them undeserved trust. In families, gaslighting passes through generations. Parents who never accepted fault raise children taught to distrust their own memory. These children grow into adults unsure of what love feels like, conditioned to see doubt as affection and silence as safety. On the darker psychological scale, gaslighting often overlaps with narcissism and sociopathy. These personalities thrive on domination, not empathy. To them, truth is elastic, morality negotiable, and people merely instruments for feeding their fragile sense of power. The gaslighter's brilliance lies in timing. They introduce lies slowly, never too big, never too small. Incremental deceit allows the victim's mind to adapt, one shift at a time, until illusion feels safer than reality, and freedom feels like betrayal. Psychologists describe the breaking point as cognitive dissonance collapse. When reality finally fractures, the victim either awakens or surrenders completely. Those who awake face rubble, the loss of trust in self, others, and every truth they once believed unshakable. Friends outside the storm often cannot see it. To them, the victim seems irrational, defensive, off. That's part of the manipulation. The gaslighter engineers behavioral evidence to make their target appear unstable, completing the cycle of control through credibility theft. The recovery from gaslighting is as haunting as the experience itself. Victims must relearn to trust their perceptions, rebuild reality piece by piece. Therapy becomes an excavation of buried confidence, a rediscovery of the self eclipsed by relentless manipulation. But the darker lesson endures: anyone can be gaslit under the right conditions. Intelligence, strength, or awareness offer no absolute defense when manipulation wears the face of love, loyalty, or authority. Gaslighting feeds best on belief, not ignorance. To resist, one must record reality, journal entries, saved messages, grounded conversations with trusted friends. Evidence becomes oxygen in a suffocating fog, a tangible map back to truth when the mind is told that truth no longer exists. Gaslighters hate clarity. Every fact you hold disrupts their illusion. When confronted with undeniable reality, they retreat, deflect, or explode in theatrical denial, hoping you'll focus on their anger rather than the evidence tearing apart their constructed world. Psychological research shows patterns of reinforcement, moments of kindness intertwined with cruelty. This intermittent affection forms a bond stronger than pain, making victims long for the person who destroys them, fueling a cycle harder to escape than chains. Understanding gaslighting is not just personal, it's cultural. Entire societies can be manipulated when truth becomes optional. Control the narrative, and you control belief, and you own perception itself, the most powerful weapon in the human condition. At the core of all manipulation lies fear, fear of losing power, fear of exposure. The gaslighter's control isn't born of strength but of desperation. They create illusions not to dominate, but to survive within their own distorted image of control. Yet beneath the surface, truth remains patient. It waits in the stillness, behind every contradiction, ready to emerge the moment courage replaces confusion. For as much as the gaslighter distorts reality, they can never wholly extinguish it. Empaths and truth seekers hold the antidote: awareness. Once you see the patterns, they can no longer control you. Naming the manipulation dissolves its spell, revealing the gaslighter for what they truly are: fragile architects of falsehoods built on borrowed belief. Forgiveness, too, plays a complex role. It is not acceptance, but release, a cutting of chains. True healing begins not when you forget, but when you remember without collapsing, reclaiming your authority over your own mind. The gaslighter loses when transparency takes root. Truth told repeatedly becomes immune to distortion. It strengthens boundaries, transforms confusion into clarity, and disarms manipulation's quiet poison, one honest statement at a time. Even as you escape, echoes remain, the phrases, the doubts, the fear of being wrong again. But every step towards self-trust is a rebellion, every breath in confidence a declaration that your mind is your own once more. Dark psychology reminds us that the deepest control is psychological. Power is not brute force, it's persuasion, belief, perception. The gaslighter's art thrives where truth is unguarded, teaching us that vigilance over our minds is the truest form of defense. And so, as the echoes fade, one truth stands clear: those who manipulate reality will always fear those who see clearly. In the light of awareness, manipulation withers, and the gaslight dims, revealing the fragile human behind the mask of control. This is the art of gaslighting, an invisible war waged with words and perception. It preys on trust, devours certainty, and reshapes truth until obedience feels like peace. But in the end, awareness unravels illusion, and truth, patient and eternal, remembers you.